Sony SRS XG300 was released back in July of 2022, so at the time of filming this video, this speaker has been out for just a little under a year. Originally, when the speaker was first released, it cost $350, but now it's only $200, so it's definitely a more affordable option than it used to be. But for those of you wondering if this speaker would be a good option for yourself, let's go ahead and take a closer look. First off, I want to mention that I am a big fan of the way Sony designed the speaker. We have this popular durable mesh that surrounds the entire speaker, and I love these passive bass radiators on the side, similar to a lot of the JBL speakers that we see. And these bass radiators vibrate quite a bit when the music is on, especially at louder volumes, and they actually are surrounded by LED lights as well. I think my favorite part about how the XG300 is designed is this handle at the top here. It has kind of this rubbery texture so that you never lose grip of it when you're carrying the speaker around, and once you pull this handle up, it actually locks into place until you push it back down. This makes handling this thing way easier because it does weigh a hefty 6.1 pounds. Now, as you probably noticed by the way this speaker looks, it is IP67 certified, which means it is water and dust proof. This thing can be fully submerged in water thanks to the rubberized buttons on the top and the rubber panel on the back, keeping all of the ports safe from the water. And the maximum depth of water this can be submerged in is 3.28 feet, so just about a meter, and I do think it's worth it to try to keep this out of the water. But if it does get knocked into a pool, or if you're at the beach and it gets wet, then you shouldn't have any worries at all. Also, do keep in mind, if you plan on using this speaker at the beach, sand can get trapped inside this durable mesh, so I'd recommend just rinsing it off with fresh water afterwards. You definitely will not be able to fit this thing in a bag unless you have a very large one, but I think it's meant to be carried kind of on its own anyways, since there's a handle at the top. And the XG300 is definitely not going to be your go-to hiking speaker because it's just too big and bulky, but it is meant for shorter distances like going to the beach, going to the park, hanging out with your friends, and that kind of stuff. I think a speaker this size is a great option for a lot of people because it's still big enough to where you're going to have good quality of audio, and it's going to be able to fill up entire spaces with music, and it's still portable enough to take it to the majority of places. On the top here, we have all of our usual buttons like the power button, Bluetooth button, the mega bass. With this button, you can actually pause or play your music. 2 taps will go to the next song, and then 3 taps will go back to the previous song. And if you're getting a call, you can actually just tap this button once, and it will allow you to talk directly through the speaker. Of course, we have the usual volume buttons as well. And the stamina mode does really affect the bass, and the audio just sounds really lacking with the stamina mode turned on. But if you need to savor some extra battery life, then you gotta do what you gotta do. I personally like to keep that mega bass button on when I'm listening to music because I like that deep thump in the bass, but we do get clearer, higher frequencies and vocals when this button is turned off. On the back, behind this water resistant flap, we have a USB port to charge additional accessories if needed, an aux input, which is always nice, and the USB-C input for charging up the speaker. If you press this button right here, the speaker will tell you its battery life, and this button on the far right will allow you to turn the LED lights on or off. Moving on, Sony claims that the SRS XG300 gets 25 hours of listening time with a full charge, and it takes about 5 hours to charge up the speaker from 0. I do think Sony did overestimate those hours because whenever I have the mega bass button on and I'm listening at consistent high volumes, I get around 15 hours of playtime. So I'd say the battery life is just a bit better than some of their competitors. But let's go ahead and talk about the most important thing in this video, which is the sound quality. After listening to tons of different songs and genres with the XG300, I am impressed with the way it sounds. I am a huge bass fan myself, so I do love having this mega bass button on, but like I mentioned earlier, it does take away some of that crispness in the overall audio quality, especially at louder volumes. I will say though, even with the mega bass button turned off, I would have liked to see a little bit more quality at top volumes because the audio seems to get a little bit distorted. That being said, this is common for portable speakers and the audio still sounds great, and I bet most people probably won't even notice it. The bass has a nice kick to it, and the audio and vocals do sound really good before getting into the top volumes. I personally do believe that the JBL Extreme 3 does sound better, but it is also $150 more, so it's kind of a no-brainer to go with this one if you're wanting to save some extra cash. This speaker can definitely get loud as well, so it's great for smaller to even larger medium-sized events with a decent amount of people, whether you're at the park, beach, pool, or even somebody's house. I also have an audio test for you guys, so I'll go ahead and play that for you.
Yelling glory to the saved, and we fall, we reign, we rise again. Before the pain, we try so hard to feel safe. It's all around. Always keeping us restless with the light, keeping us restless with the light. Lighting a fire for the night, let it burn, keep inside, keep your spirit up at night. There's a miracle alive, all the pain inside your bones, all the cold inside your home. You were never all alone, all alone. Restless all the time, feel myself decline, lose myself till my heart beats. But we fall, we rain, we rise again. The fall, the pain, we try so hard to feel safe. It's all in our brains. Always keeping us restless with the lights, keeping us restless with the lights. Always keeping us restless with the lights.
know that's not the best depiction of audio because you're listening to this speaker through the device on your end, but it is better than nothing. And moving on to the Sony Music app, you will have access to some additional features like creating a custom EQ based on your audio preference. Within the app, we can also change the controls, change the lighting modes, and we have the option to pair this speaker with other Sony speakers so that they can play music simultaneously at the same time. So after all we have talked about, is the Sony SRS XG300 a good option for yourself? Well, if you're looking for a portable speaker that is durable, water and sandproof, is loud but still portable, and is at a discounted price, then I think this speaker is a great option. But if you are willing to spend $100 more, you can pick up the JBL Extreme 3, and I think that speaker sounds just a little bit better, and it has a shoulder strap for even easier portability. If you are looking for something that is ultra portable and also extremely small, you can check out the Sony XB100. Also, you can find speakers that are slightly smaller than this one here, like the JBL Charge 5, which is $150, and some other Sony speakers like the XE300. Do keep in mind that typically the smaller the speaker, the worse the audio quality will be, and it won't get quite as loud. Overall, I think the Sony SRS XG300 is a great option because it's not too big to the point to where it's not portable, but it is big enough to get really loud and have great audio for larger medium-sized events and just for hanging out. If you guys do want to check out this speaker, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below this video for the discounted price. With all of that being said though, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!